but get together with some thought leaders
That's
in your
it.
community and do
Mm,
something great.
mm.
Put on a block party. Just it's a time for us to get more active, and I think people are more open to it, and we should take advantage of it.
Hey, gang. The Headley Group Real Estate Show is a video audio podcast designed to highlight and interview real estate professionals, entrepreneurs, and other fields alike. The mission of our podcast is to acknowledge people of color and show their successes, and in return, help our audience learn from them and pick up tips and tricks in building additional income. Hey, ladies and gents, this is Mike Headley. We are back. Another great episode on the Headley Group Real Estate Show. Let me tell you something. When I say we have an awesome treat for you, I always say that a lot, but this right here is just a little bit more special because this is actually a friend of mine has been knowing a few years, and she has soared and will continue to soar. Now, let me highlight some of her backgrounds that you all should know about her if you don't know already, because her face is everywhere. She is a journalist, news reporter with Spectrum Bay News in the Tampa Bay area. She has covered. She won awards, Pulitzer grants to uncover international domestic issues and family communities, migrant workers, and women and children. She has pursued journalism for an extended period of time. She's worked in several markets, but the reason why we got her on this show is to pick her brain and give us insight on the NFT world, right? And where we're going with it, because she's an NFT enthusiast. Let's give a warm welcome to Miss Ashonti Ford. How you doing, man?
Hey, Mike, thank you so much for having me on the show. This is dope.
Let me tell you something. Community, one thing about our show, like I said, we keep it real and we keep it honest. And Ms. Ashonti is in high demand in the podcast world. In other words, people want to get on her show. But I asked her, I said, please, if you can bless us with your expertise and just come on the show just for a few minutes. And she obliged. We want to say again, thank you for doing that.
Absolutely.
So, ma'am, here's the thing. Before we dive into this NFT world that a lot of people, they don't even really say, but I think they said 3 to 5% of the population has knowledge about. They've seen it, but they don't really have as much knowledge. Before we get there, we want to know about the person speaking about it, right? Your insight and your expertise in this industry. But let's go back a little bit. Journalism, right? I'm quite sure that you are a small percentage I know of women of color is in this space. What made Miss? Go ahead. I was going to ask you.
I'm sorry, man.
No, you're fine. I was going to ask you what was that spark to say, let me go down this road of journalism.
Yeah, it's funny. Through the Pulitzer Center, which you mentioned earlier, they award journalists for international stories, sometimes some domestic stories too. But I do a mentorship program with them where I talk to the kids, and I actually that was one of my questions this morning. And I think I always really have been a journalist, to be honest. I think I got my first journal when I was about 6. After that, I had this weird fascination with my dad's camcorder, and so it was something that I was always into, just the industry of writing and recording, documenting. Then I got to college, and in college, I guess where we put a title on our natural born talents. I love English class and speaking in front of people more than math and science. And so after my first internship in news, which was my junior year in college, I knew that it was what I wanted to do, So it was kind of like, I think organically, I've always loved what I do. It's part of my foundation. But as I went through school, I was able to tailor my craft.
And I hear you mention one of the key, several great things that you said, but you loved and enjoyed what you're doing. A lot of times we talk about how people see there's so many different things to do out here to generate income or go down a certain road, but if you don't have that love or that enjoyment, then you won't go but thus so far with that. How how was that transition into college? You said you don't mind speaking in front of people. How has that played a role in what you're doing now, and in terms of moving into your space of opening up your own businesses and things that you're doing as far as this growth?
You know, while those were some of my early passions, the writing and journaling, things like that, I've always been a very dynamic young lady, you know, because at the same time, you know, I was chasing jackrabbits with my neighbors and building forts. So I've always liked to have my hands in different things, and specifically with the NFTs, you know, and I've done some other things like, you know, I have the vending machines and things like that. But with the NFTs, you know, I feel like this NFT space is what Bitcoin was maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, maybe. You know, when people were like, Bitcoin, what is that? I'm not sure. We're seeing ATMs. We're like, we're going to steer clear. All those people now are just about millionaires and above. And I feel like for me, for the last several years, I've been like waiting for that next big wave of something. And I always catch it at the tail end, like Dogecoin. For example, I heard that Elon Musk was going to be on Saturday Night Live. So I'm like, okay, let me buy Dogecoin. This is my time. Okay. You know, I bought like $2,000 worth of Dogecoin. And he got on there and said what he said. And that night it started dropping. And it hasn't really gone back up since then. You know, so after that, I kind of steered clear of like, you know, I don't want to purchase these things. It's too up and down. And while you can make a lot of money with crypto and NFTs, just the mindset that I'm in right now, I want to build my own, you know, but I didn't know where to start. So I have a close friend, two close friends who were more versed in the NFT world, and they kind of brought me into it, and we decided to make our own.
Well, you know something? I'm sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, the only thing I was just going to add, I wanted, and you had a great transition there, but let's take it back to the folks who may not be as keen or smart with just what an NFT is and what exactly it does in this whole crypto Bitcoin space that you just mentioned. So what is it?
Yeah, and thank you for slowing me down, because I love the opportunity to talk about what it is, because it's new. And as I'm still learning it, I love the opportunity to kind of like share knowledge about what I do know. So NFT stands for Non-Fungible Token. Essentially, it's a digital piece of art. Just, you could think of it just in the simplest way. It's a digital piece of art that is put on an online marketplace for sale. And they're selling for hundreds and thousands of dollars, just really simply based off of the art, of course, but who backs it, and how much money you have to market it. That's really what the NFT space comes down to when you're creating it. Once you build your NFT, this digital piece of art that is now ready to go online to sell, it's about who backs it. Have you heard of the Island Boys?
I have not.
Okay, it's a Florida thing. But essentially, the Island Boys are two artists, is what they consider themselves. And they came up with this catchy song that went viral, like overnight. And just recently, I noticed that some of the more popular NFTs, like Trillionaire Thugs, they've paid Island Boys to promote their NFT. And simply because of that, some people are buying it. Now, let me back up a little bit. So let me explain the difference between a digital piece of art that's considered an NFT and maybe a piece of art that you hang on your wall. Let me explain value.
Hey guys, thank you for watching our show. We're going to interrupt you real quickly. We are in the business of referrals. If you know someone looking to buy or sell, residential or commercial, here in the North Carolina area, refer us. We really appreciate that.
So let's say you have two people and both of them have a dollar bill in their pocket. They pull the dollar bill out. The dollar bill is worth the same. They both have $1. They can go buy ice cream with it for the same amount, okay? So now let's say you have two people that pull a baseball card out of their pocket. One person got the baseball card from the dollar store. It has no value, and you can get 1 million of them. The other person has the same baseball card, but it's signed by the person who created it. This card has value. This card is like no other because this person personally signed this card.
Gotcha.
This is an NFT.
Okay.
So no one NFT is the same, and it carries a different value based on who you buy the NFT from. Now, here's when we get into incentives. So people don't just buy the NFT for the art. People buy the NFT because one, they want to be a part of the NFT community, which offers incentives like the Ford Yacht Club, those apes that everyone sees. Everyone knows the apes.
Correct, the apes.
They offer different incentives. You know, I don't know all of them running down, but one of them may include attending a party that only you can attend if you have this NFT. So, you know, there's the digital aspect of the NFT, there's the technical aspect of the NFT, the developers, the coders that you need to create the NFT, and then there's the value of the NFT for the consumer. I hope I've explained it.
No. You explained it real clear, and I'll probably just ask some few questions with that. So, if a person does not want to be a developer, they want to say, hey, I want to purchase, I've done my 50 hours, or I have not done my 50 hours, and I want to go down this lane of purchasing a non-fungible token. Is there any recommendations of where should I go or what sites?
Okay, and no, that's a great question. And, you know, I hate when people make it seem like buying an NFT, just go buy it. It's complicated. It's complicated. First, you have to have an actual wallet online, meaning like a MetaMask or a Coinbase wallet. And then you have to purchase Ethereum coin so that you can, or whatever coin is required. You have to find out for the NFT what coin is required. For me, thus far, Ethereum. So you have to purchase the Ethereum coin, put it into your wallet, sync your wallet with whatever marketplace you're buying your NFT from, which there's a ton, OpenSea is one of them. And then you mint to purchase your NFT. So when you're looking at the NFT costs and you finally get to purchasing it, you're going to see that it costs more than you actually agreed for. Those are gas fees. So you actually have to purchase gas fees when you go to buy your NFT. So it's a whole thing. Is essentially what I'm saying.
And without, I know, like I said, it's a ton of information there. Two definitions we need. What is gas fees? And you mentioned something. You said, what is gas fees and what is the a wallet?
Okay, a wallet is essentially like a digital wallet. Could be like a Coinbase wallet or what your crypto coins are actually in after you purchase them.
Got you.
So
Okay.
You have to, so I have like crypto.com app and I have Coinbase. I have a Coinbase wallet and I have a MetaMask. Those are all apps as to which my digital coins are being held. So I could move my coins around in different apps, which that's a whole thing in itself. And luckily I have really amazing friends around me that are very versed on that. But you can move your money around, and that's essentially how you purchase your coins. Once you purchase your Ethereum, then you can purchase your NFT.
And
so
you know,
once
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. It's a lot easier.
You said once is what? Sorry to say it again.
Once all your apps are synced up and you learn how to essentially purchase your first one, it becomes a lot easier.
Gotcha. Okay. So even though, you know, like I said, our audience is real estate professionals, and also because we show them how to make money just without selling a house, right? And such as this topic we're having now. It goes hand in hand with this whole metaverse thing. Do you have any insight on this metaverse and how this NFT plays a role in together?
Yes.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
So I'm not as versed in the metaverse, though I have a friend, he and his business have created a metaverse, but essentially the metaverse is a digital world. Do you remember? Okay, I have an analogy for you.
Yeah, I know
Do
what you're
you
gonna say.
remember the movie The Bourne Identity?
Oh, okay. No, I do remember
You
it's a
remember
series.
Bourne
Yes.
Identity?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so essentially with the Bourne Identity, every room you walked in, every, space you were in, there were things that were scanning codes
Mm,
to identify who you were, or things scanning codes to purchase things, or that is the foundation of how I can explain the
okay.
metaverse. What
Mhm.
I can also tell you is that people at the storms are buying up property in the metaverse and actually creating a life and investments for
Mm,
themselves in the metaverse. You can
mm,
also sell NFTs essentially, or
mm,
different crypto coins in
mm,
the metaverse.
mm.
So it's essentially a digital world.
So, do people? A lot of times, people, we miss the boat, so to speak, right? That ticket to get us from A all the way to Z, meaning coming getting late to the party. Do you feel as though that we are in the beginning stages, we in the middle, or do we miss the boat?
Um, you're good. I think I read, 2 to 3% of the population is
Mm,
even into NFTs in the metaverse. So you're straight, but this is the thing. If you're going to be into this, you have to do your research,
mm,
or you're going to run into a whole bunch of blank missions and you're just going to give up. This is one of those things that you want to do your research so that you can really do what you got to do. Because once you know what you're doing in this space, you're already following the crypto groups and the NFT groups on Instagram that are telling you, hey, this is about to drop. This is something that you need to look into. You already have your coins in your wallet ready to purchase stuff and make investments. I have one friend that purchased some Apollo Inu crypto,
mm,
and within a week, I think it went up like $1,000. And
mm,
I was so like kicking myself because
mm.
I had just transferred money from my bank account into my Coinbase wallet, and
Mhm,
that takes 5 to 7 days to go through.
mhm.
So I couldn't, you know what I mean? So it really is about being ready for those opportunities and being versed on what you're doing in the space.
Well, one thing I do want to add is because, like I said, I have a wallet as well, and I'm using crypto.com. Um,
Okay.
a lot of banking institutions they don't like that, right? They don't like anything dealing with, because again, it's not regulated, right? I think there, once it does become regulated, then it's like, hey, come to the bank, we'll do it for you, which you don't really need them. So I think that's something that community needs to look out for when you're moving forward as far as get ready to transfer monies. I think banks
Well,
are leery of it. Go ahead.
I will tell you, as a consumer, it's good that they're
Mm,
leery of it because, for
correct.
example, I was scammed into buying an invisible friend. I wasn't versed in what I was doing. This was some
Mm,
months ago. The actual invisible friend NFT hadn't even dropped yet. So it was a lookalike. And so I bought it thinking I had an invisible friend. And a
mm,
couple days later, that thing really became invisible. It wasn't in my wallet anymore. I
mm.
was
Wow.
scammed.
I'm sorry
I
about
had an
that.
actual
Mm,
invisible friend. And me, I immediately Wells Fargo, let them know,
mm.
and filed that claim, and I got my money back.
Did you? Oh
So
wow. Okay. Okay.
as a consumer, I was happy that
Mm,
they didn't get away with that.
mm,
Now, as a person that's building an NFT, we just have to, and in my team, we aren't worried about it because we're doing everything correctly. And that's what you have to do. You have to form an entity. You have to track, the sales. You have to, if you're offering certain incentives, put those incentives out to your community, to your Discord. That's what we plan on doing.
mm,
Get a credible artist. The artist that we are working with is just wow, phenomenal. Our
mm.
storyline for our NFT, our actual NFT, which I can't disclose unless there's NDA signed, but
Correct.
we're working on something big. And
Mm.
so I think if you want to get into the space as a consumer or as someone that wants to build your own, I don't think it's too late. I think now is actually a great time.
No, is this, and this is piggyback off what you're saying, is that great book Michael Gladwell got, doing your 10,000 hours. Do your research, people. Do your due diligence before you, because I think there's just so many scammers out here. Like you said, that happened to you, who's saying, hey, come and invest over here, when really that is not the case. So do all your homework, right? And then after you do your homework, then probably connect with somebody like Ashonti who probably can help you out there. Do you do any mentorships, any kind of oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, the funny thing is I've mentored a lot of phenomenal women and young ladies over the years. But one thing that I will say about the mentorship, or just about people that are seeking advice from people that know what they're doing, you got to follow up, and a lot of people don't really have that these days. A lot of people don't have that motivation to just get it done. Kind of we've creeped into a generation of lazy crybabies, and so when it comes to mentorship, I love it, but if you're not serious,
don't waste your time.
don't invite me.
And if someone decides, and again, because we know you may definitely get some requests, is that I'm quite sure there's fees that you'll work out with them involved, or you just doing it out of kindness of your heart?
Well, I don't charge people for mentorship.
Okay.
No.
Okay, that's good.
I don't charge people for advice. I have conversations with people all the time, Now, if we're talking about, marketing services, or if we're talking about, which I, of course offer, if we're talking about wanting to build your own NFT, which my company also builds NFTs for people, that's different. But if we're talking about advice or mentorship, the greatest love that you could share with people is knowledge, and I truly believe that.
I like the fact you talk so much, you said it 2 or 3 times about your team. And a lot of times people feel as though they got to do things or want to go down a lane by themselves, and they can go but so far. Real quick, touch on just the roles of kind of people that you work with, and how has that helped you so much?
Yeah, well, Napoleon Hill, Think Grow Rich. I was looking to see if I have it in there. It's I do. Having a team can only push you further if you're able to work off of each other's strengths and support each other, even though it may be hard at times of weakness. That's what makes a good business structure, I think, and a good team. And I have a great team. There's the one that is very versed in the tech world and is kind of passing that knowledge, that love down. There's one that is phenomenal at securing investors, which is crucial. Obviously, building an NFT is expensive. And then there's me, the marketing extraordinaire that crosses all the T's and dots all the I's. So we definitely are able to play off of each other's strengths, and I think that's important in any team.
Quick commercial break. If you're interested in a career in real estate, or you're a seasoned vet, you might want to change. New environment. You don't like the atmosphere you're in. The Headley Group Realty could be there to assist you with your career. What do we offer? Great culture, great environment, leads, and an awesome commission structure. Let us be there to support your business. One thing, you got to be in the state of North Carolina. Let's get back to the show. Ashonti, like I said, you've really blessed us with your time. And again, I know time is important to you, because I know you have a lot of great things you got to do. But narrowing it down, but you mentioned your marketing. You do marketing, and you want to elaborate on that in terms of your services.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. For several years, I also offer PR, marketing, and production services. Usually it's on small contract levels. For example, maybe there's a team that needs their social media cleaned up because they want to be pitched to different outlets, whether that be newspapers, blogs, magazines, television. And I kind of coach people through and help them with that. I do have a web development team that assists me with that. So yeah, I definitely offer those services. Now, since I've picked up the NFTs, it's kind of consumed a lot of my time. So most of my clients are now tailored toward people who either want me to market their crypto coin or their NFT or help them build their own.
Okay. Ashonti, is there a question that I didn't ask you that you would like to answer?
I don't know. I guess I just want to, maybe I want to stress the importance of just like being accountable when it comes to everything you do, really, being accountable and being grateful. Those two things have really catapulted me in my personal life, and they continue to do great things for me in my professional life, honestly. Being accountable and being grateful. And I think working in a team, as we've talked about, kind of helps stretch those limits. It grows you. And so I would really advise, these days, especially with our generation that we're in a young, innovative, time. Get together with, if not friends, you don't have to do business with friends, but get together with some thought leaders in your community and do something great, put on a block party, it's a time for us to get more active, and I think people are more open to it, and we should take advantage of it.
Ashonti, we asked everybody 2 golden nuggets. You did give us about 3 or 4 right before I said this. A good one-line, a book, a quote, a scripture, anything that you may see that might be inspirational motivation for somebody. Two quick ones.
Okay, let me see, because I was just featured in this thing, so let me see if I could quote something in this.
Now, she's a star, y'all. She is a star. Heavy on LinkedIn and everywhere. And while she looks for that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm looking.
No, I was about to say, she looks for that great quote, people. Again, she made some powerful words in terms of accountability. Right? If you're not accountable for yourself, you won't be accountable for nothing else. Right? So definitely have that conversation with yourself to hold yourself accountable, or get somebody who can hold you accountable.
So I was recently featured in Chicken Soup for the Soul. I'm speaking now, the Black Women's edition. It was really exciting for me. It was a full circle moment because as a kid, I actually used to read these Chicken Soup for the Soul books. So there's a quote that starts off my story in the self-discovery section, and I guess I'll end mine with that. It's Stacey Abrams. Remember this in the darkest moments, when the work doesn't seem worth it and change seems just out of reach. Out of our willingness to push through comes a tremendous power. Use it. Stacey Abrams.
Nice. Well, we want to thank Miss Ashonti Ford, and again, you can see her on Spectrum Bay News, Channel 9 in Tampa, Florida. And again, she's all over social media, heavy on LinkedIn. Want to thank you again, Miss. Thank you for taking your time out to come on our show. And again, you are an alumni now. So so any other time we can kind of have you on, we really appreciate it. And want to thank each and every one of you for watching the Headley Group Real Estate Show. And again, like and subscribe. We'll see you all next time. Take care.
Hey, gang, I hope you really enjoyed that show. Our guests provide us some great tips and insight, and please support them on all social media platforms. And while I'm saying that, support us on all social media platforms, and don't forget, watch the entire video on YouTube. We'll see you next time.